So in today's world, everything is fast paced and speed matters. One of the things that is going to set you apart from your competition is the speed with which you communicate and respond to your customers and prospects. In fact, the speed of your communication is one of those things that's going to set you apart and distinguish you as being excellent in the marketplace. And so when we talk about speed to lead, speed to communication, speed to follow up, these are critical elements that you've got to be thinking about today. And so that's our topic today, and I'm glad you've joined. And so let's talk through this whole concept of speed in your communication. Projects today are a symphony of planning, execution, and teamwork, but the orchestration, the maestro of all of it, is communication. And so effective communication is the bridge that is going to bring vision and reality, client expectations, and project completion together. And so what we want to do is help you, shape up a game plan to have excellence in your communication, because you can be the greatest home remodeler in the world, the greatest contractor in the world. You can do the greatest work in the world, but if your communication is subpar, it's going to undermine everything that you do. And so, first thing we're going to talk about is something you already know, but we just need to reinforce. Sometimes we forget that, and that is the value of first impressions. And first impressions are more than just simply the handshake. They are the blueprint of trust-based relationships. And so when a client reaches out to you, their inquiry is not just a bid request. In fact, it's a search for a partner that they can depend upon throughout the complexities of their project from start to finish. And so responding quickly and professionally to those initial contacts is going to do more than just show your business's efficiency. It's also going to demonstrate the level of client care and project success that customer can expect from you, the service provider. And so what you're doing is you are laying a cornerstone of trust and reliability in the mind of the consumer from that very first interaction. And so a couple of things you're going to want to do is, number one, implement a standard response protocol. And develop a protocol for responding to any new inquiries within 24 hours so that no communication falls through the cracks. And then you want to train your team, conduct training sessions, making sure that you're focusing on their communication skills so that everyone communicates at a high level. And you want to really reinforce to the team the importance of making a good first impression. In fact, encourage your team to approach each interaction with professionalism and warmth, just like they're talking to a good friend or a great neighbor. Next thing we want to talk about is getting those quotes out in a timely manner. Don't make people wait for the information they're looking for. And so providing quotes in a timely manner is going to be a testament to your operational excellence and your commitment to client satisfaction. It's going to reflect your eagerness to embark on new projects, and it's also going to show your respect for your client's time and decision-making process. And that's huge, because the client wants to know that you care about what's important to them. And so this quick turnaround is not only going to set your business apart in this competitive marketplace, but it's also going to initiate the trust building process. It's going to show those prospective clients that your company not only values their project, but is also capable of managing that project with the promptness and attention that it deserves. And so some things that are going to help you in this area is using quoting software. invest in quoting software that's going to streamline the process and make that quoting process quicker in the turnaround. Establish a timeline for getting those quotes out. So have some internal benchmarks for delivering quotes, 48 to 72 hours from the initial request, and then monitor the compliance to that timeline to make sure that it is stuck with consistently. You want to build trust through responsive communication. And so the cornerstone of any good relationship is trust, and successful communication is really the key to developing that trust. And so the more open and timely that communication is, the more solid the trust becomes. And so you want to create an ongoing dialogue, demonstrate, transparency and accountability in your communication. Your communication should encompass regular updates, clear explanations of any challenges that you're facing. Don't hide from any challenges that you have. Just be open about those. And then have an open door for client inquiries. If they've got questions, where do they go to with those? How can they easily get those questions answered? And what this is going to do, it's going to reassure your customer of your dedication to making sure their project is successful. It's also going to give them a sense of security and also make them feel like they are a partner in that project, not just somebody who has to stand off to the side and hope for the best. And so that is super invaluable in the mind of the consumer. You got to have to remember that so much of their security and so much of the success of this project really is wrapped up in the emotions. How does a person feel about the project? How does a person feel about the way it was accomplished, the way it was handled, not just the technicalities of the project? So a couple of things you can do. You can schedule regular updates. So set a regular schedule for those project updates. Make sure that your client knows when they're going to get those updates. That could be weekly, that could be bi-weekly. Here's the important thing. Whatever flow of updates that you set the expectation for, make sure you stick with that. And then create a feedback loop. So encourage and facilitate ongoing feedback from your clients, showing that you value their input and that you're committed to addressing any concerns that they may have for you. Now, here's some tools and strategies to further enhance communication. In today's world, you've got a lot of technology available to you to help improve communication. And really, it's a non-negotiable that you put some of those things to use, whether that be project management software that offers real-time updates or instant messaging apps for quick decision-making. The way you implement these tools can really transform the way that you're interacting with your clients and with your team members. And what they do is they really facilitate seamless communication, and that ensures that everyone involved stays informed, stays engaged, and is aligned with the overall goals of the project. And so adopting these tools is going to require you to be a little bit strategic in your approach. It's going to require some comprehensive training for your team, and of course some clear guidelines on how those things get used so that you can fully realize the potential of those tools and truly enhance the project communication. And by leveraging these tools and strategies, you're going to greatly improve just the overall communication with your team, with your clients, and you're going to have a higher level of satisfaction from all stakeholders. So a couple of action steps for you. Number one, adopt collaborative platforms. Choose a project management platform that allows for that real-time update, the collaboration between everybody that's involved. Conduct those tool training sessions on a regular basis. Be training your team members on any new tools, any updates. Keep them current on the technologies so that everything integrates seamlessly into your day-to-day operations. And then finally, we want to deal with those challenges in communication. Communication breakdowns are going to happen. Breakdowns in communication tend to be one of the big pain points that we all encounter, especially as business owners. But we can always be dealing with those. We can minimize the impact of those things. And so, one of the things we have to do is we've got to make sure that we overcome any challenges that we have in our communication flow. And we want to address those challenges head on. That's critical to make sure that we have successful projects. And so some of the strategies that you want to implement are going to be centralized communication systems, mobile-friendly tools for communication, and then create a culture of active listening. And in that active listening culture, there also has to be freedom to be open, to speak freely, so that hurdles can be addressed, so that things don't get swept under the rug because somebody's afraid of the repercussions. And so by proactively addressing those communication barriers, you're going to be able to build a foundation for clear, effective dialogue at every phase of your project. And so you want to identify your communication barriers, regularly review and identify any barriers to effective communication within your team, with your clients, and then address those things proactively. Promote that culture of openness. So it's really up to you as the leader to foster that environment where team members feel comfortable sharing their insights and their concerns to enhance the flow of information. Where people feel like they can share freely, you're going to get a lot better information from them. It's going to be a lot more productive. And then, of course, at the heart of any project management is clear and consistent communication. It's that communication that's going to ensure that everybody is aligned with the objectives of the project, with the timelines, with the budget. It's going to make it easier to address challenges and make those informed decisions. It's also going to have a pivotal role in managing your client's expectations. Unmet expectations is where the majority of our client problems start. So the better we are at communicating clear expectations, the more we don't have to go into firefighting mode. And I think all of us would appreciate that. And so we want to help our clients remain informed. We want to help them remain involved. And communication isn't just a project management tool. It's really the key to successful project delivery. So implement project management meetings. Hold those daily or weekly to discuss the project progress, to address any issues, to plan ahead, make sure all team members are on the same page with the objectives, develop a comprehensive communication plan for each project, create its own unique communication plan. Don't always go cookie cutter, although you'll use the same, techniques and principles. Every project's going to have its own nuances. And so be sure to outline the channels and the frequency and the content of updates to everyone that's involved. And when we, harness the power of prompt communication, then what we're going to find is that we build solid trust, we manage our projects efficiently, and we ensure a higher degree of client satisfaction. So by making that a priority, adopting the right tools and strategies, you can achieve better outcomes overall, foster stronger relationships with your clients. And here's the great thing. In the end, it's going to give you a competitive edge in the industry because you're just going to do things a little better than everyone else. And your clients are going to be so amazed at the level of professionalism you bring that they will become your advocates. And advocates produce more business because they will go and tell others about the quality of work that you do. If we can help you develop your plan, be sure and schedule a strategy session with us. And thanks for joining in today.